Welcome back, traders. So we've looked at the EuroCAD, but we saw potential trade on there, and now we're moving on to the Euro GBP. So we're going to just move on quite quickly to just have a nice overview of what's happening on the monthly chart. So if you could see here, there's a lot of interaction around this sort of point um, on that Euro GBP, and at the moment it's at that point. So it's a caveat. The market seems to be heading down, but just to be on the safe side, we need to keep an eye out on that point at that point, which is it's roughly around 81.40-ish. And it looks like it's breaking through that point, but again, the month hasn't finished yet. So let's just keep it safe, keep it simple, keep it sweet. Okay, looking at the weekly chart. Okay, since we were looking at a downtrend from where it was, um, we're going to keep an eye out. All right, our first ABs were fulfilled. The second ABs have not been fulfilled. It has come back to some resistance at this point here, which is the 618, and it's shifting down. And you could see it, and I've drawn an outward trend line and an inner trend line, a little bit more aggressive trend line right there. And just here it looks like it's going even more aggressive. So so you can see that there's some momentum that we need to keep an eye out on. Okay, let's move down to the daily chart. There's it looks like it's almost hit a D extension. There's not much pippage left on there. At the moment, it looks like it's about, about 36 pips-ish left on that to hit a D on the daily. Generally, I wouldn't pay much attention to those trades, mainly because, what on earth is that trend line? That's not really a trend line, is it? All right. Everybody knows how to do their trend lines, so this should be technically our trend line right here. Almost broke it, came back in, and still heading back down. Okay. All right, so let's just move on to a 120 chart. Okay, cool. If we just compress that a bit, we'll see what we've been seeing on that daily to make things make a lot more sense. All right, you see there's some ABCDs, all been fulfilled. Let's just minimize it so you can see it a little bit clearer. Okay, so currently we're in this down ABCD. To hit that D from where the currently is about 53 pips. Okay, so what I've done here is just because there's a nice trend going down. We're expecting, and you see it, the market comes down, it bounces back up, it hits that extension, comes back down, bounces back up, hits this, and there's a lot of interaction with this trend line. So at the moment it's hit a D and it's sort of playing around with that D. It has hit a 382, but we're expecting a deep pullback only because I trade on past support, future resistance, so I normally work past with this amount of interaction. So I'm expecting the market to pull back to about here before it falls down, and then sort of my stop will be around here. If I use this as my guide post, we're looking at 80.45, 80, 30, 55. Will be about here. Will be where we'll be looking to get out 10 pips before. And if we did that, our entry, 71 pips, and we're looking 10 pips above that. It's 8, 19, 29. Yeah. So our stop will be around here. So we can do that as a pending order. Again, we can look at that at a different stage. It's still time to do that, but we can set an alarm on it, um, or we can do a pending order. I like pending orders. It removes all the anxiety about waiting for a trade, waiting for it to set up. Um, Especially as I know where I'm expecting it to come in. So we know that there is some interaction here, and that it'll more than likely go, come up, test um, that past resistance, future support, and then shoot back down. Make any sense? Great stuff. I hope it does. Okay, let's go look at a different currency pair. Let's look at the Euro JPY. I have a tendency of triple clicking it, so I always get, there it has happened again. uh, you know, uh, so it wouldn't do my chart, it'll do other charts as well. But let's keep it simple. Okay, so let's have a quick look. Euro JPY. That's our next currency pair. There we go. We can see if we compare a chart, because it gives you an idea, isn't it? It gives you an idea of what's happening. Euro JPY on the monthly, it's saying it's bouncing here, it's bouncing here, bouncing here. You know what that's called. It's called consolidation. And it happens with, it happens with all currency pairs. So, be mindful, be aware, expect it, know that it's there and it's happening. Okay, so you can see in that midpoint, there's a little bit more interaction. There's interaction here, there's interaction um, here, there's interaction here, there's some interaction here. So you're expecting some interaction here. So if you zoom in a bit, you could see there's a nice dark cloud cover, and there's a test of that dark cloud cover already. So we can see, that there's a bearish engulfing. Not too much of an evening star, but more of a bearish engulfing candlestick formation just here, which is indicating that the market's going down. So bear that in mind. Let's move down to a smaller time frame. Okay. Again, we're looking for down. You know that the move is up. I'll just go back quickly so you can see. The move is up. It was a shallow 382 bounce. It's hit a dark cloud cover at that 2.7, and if it's a shallow 382, then you know more than likely if it's come back here in this area, because of this hidden level of support and resistance, you're expecting it to go down. Another reason why it's going down, again, is because it's had all this interaction beforehand, so we're expecting it to go down from now on. And so we're looking at down moves. So we're expecting deeper moves on these. Let's just take this off. Okay, there we go. So I am a past support, future resistance kind of girl, as I mentioned before. I'm expecting it to come down to a 382. Actually, I don't like these. I only like these for my trading. Let's go back. Put this up. And there we go. Change color, black. All right, so this is where you'd expect some resistance, and I would expect it to go down all the way down to about here. Again, it's because there's a lot of resistance around there. It's a lot of resistance and a bit of a push. And you could see it. You could see it right here. You could see it here. You could see it here, here, here. So there's a lot of interaction in that area. I'm thinking, okay, makes sense. Even if I decided to plot something down from here, sub aspect, okay, that's a 786. Again, it says about here. Just bring this down a little bit so you can see. It is a deep pullback, so you're looking at it to come maybe about here, which would be a decent interaction. Again, I would expect it to go deeper, so I'm expecting a couple waves, but for now, let's just keep an eye on it. Again, if you just zoom in a little bit, you could see here, again, there's a dark cloud cover. There's a bearish engulfing candle, and we're seeing it moving down, and that makes sense to us. Okay, so let's go down to a daily. A daily, you can see, if we just zoom out, nice consistent downtrend, and we are expecting it to go down. It's in a bit of a flagpole pennant. I was going to ask you the questions, but it'll be awkward talking to myself, so there we go. It has broken down from this pennant, broken out of the pennant, heading downwards, which pretty much aligns to what we're doing. So we're looking at a downward move. Has hit a 786, so technically we're expecting it to come about here, which would be a 382. So we have a good few, 400, almost 484 pips of downward move expected on that pair. So let's just keep an eye on it. Okay, cool. Alrighty. All right, so at the moment we're hitting downward moves. Makes sense. Great. We're excited. If we did this, we realize, there we go. There's a lot of ABCDs moving all the way down. And this down move again, it was a shallow 382. It's gone through that 127, and it's heading back up. We're expecting it at least to a 382. It says with this fibs that it will go to a 382. Again, I'm a past support future resistance girl, so there I would probably put my entry around here, at the 50. For me, there's a lot more interaction at that 50, so I'd more than likely get in on that 50 as a potential entry, before I expect it to head back down. So if I did do that, it would be somewhere around here. Okay, a couple hundred pips for an entry here. Oops. Here, 101. So it's a 2-to-1 risk reward. And at a later session, I will explain to you how I work through my equity management for trades that have sort of high risk trades, as well as my low risk trades. It's the standard strategy I use for all of them, which makes sense to me. Any questions? Anything cropping up in your mind right now? Does that make any sense to you? Okay. And if you wanted to count a trend, and you say we went down into a 15-minute chart, which I wouldn't go to on this case. If I went on a 15-minute chart, I would say, okay, this would be a trade. I'd get in, or even 15 minutes, even though it should show up on a 1 hour as well. My entry would be here. It would be a counter trend trade. My entry would have been about here, because I'm a past support future resistance person, so I'd expect it to come down to about here, which it did, and I'll put my limit up here and my stop 10 pips below the D right here. Oops, sorry, my bad. Ooh, don't you just love magnet tools? 10 pips below here, which would make sense, and our D up here. Now, because I am very risk averse, say 15, 13, and 03. Let's do 03. Let's say 03. Okay, my risk is 56 pips, and I'm looking at 113, which is a fairly decent trade, very good risk reward, and fairly good equity management. So that would be the type of trade I would get in on, only because I'm risk averse, and I like sort of simple trades, making it really easy to work with. This is my session done. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day. Thank you.